welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be answering some of your questions about college. So a few days ago, I asked on my Instagram if you guys had any college related questions for me, and I did get some responses, so I'm going to answer as many of them as I can in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. The first question is, was UC Davis your first choice? So definitely yes, UC Davis was one of my top choices. The other one was UCLA. I'm really happy that UC Davis accepted me and I chose to go here. I didn't get into UCLA, but I did have other options, but I feel like Davis was the best decision I could have made. I've just met some of my bestest friends here, so many amazing opportunities, and I'm originally from the Bay Area, so I feel like the contrast was super nice. I feel like the Bay Area is super busy and Davis is just really chill. It's definitely a rare college town, so really love my experiences here, and I can't imagine having a better experience on any other campus. Also, my sister, she went to UC Davis for her undergrad, so she graduated in 2016. And again, being from the Bay, I was only an hour away, so sometimes I'd visit her over the weekends and she would show me around, and I fell in love with the campus even during high school. So yeah, definitely love Davis. Definitely was one of my top choices, and I can't believe I'm graduating in a few months. That's insane. The second question is, how did you choose your major? I feel like I'm one of the few people who hasn't changed their major since their application. I applied to UC Davis with the managerial economics major and just never looked back. You know, Davis isn't primarily known to be a business school. Davis is #1 in agriculture and animal science, not really business. And when I was applying, I remember looking through different majors that were related to business. So I looked at regular economics, I looked at communication, I looked at international relations. And then I stumbled upon managerial economics, and I'd never heard of this major at any other college, and it just seemed like it was more well-rounded than just regular econ was, and I have enjoyed my major. But even more so, I feel like I've learned from my minor. So I'm minoring in technology management, and what I think is so special about this minor is that the professors are in all these different industries working, and so they're not really doing research like a lot of econ professors are. So if you are studying business at Davis, I highly recommend getting a minor in technology management. Just the classes that I've learned, from consulting to marketing to supply chain, and hearing from professors who also have a job working full-time in these industries and businesses that they are teaching us about, is just amazing. And I think managerial economics and technology management, those really complement each other, and I'm really satisfied with my choice. Again, I didn't really explore any other majors, but I didn't really feel the need to, and I'm very happy to be graduating with a degree in those two areas, so no complaints there. Another question I was asked is, how do you network? I get this question a lot, and you know, I think as a student, it can be really intimidating to network because you don't want to come across as not being genuine, and sometimes it's hard to feel like you can offer something back when you're in a conversation with a working professional. But trust me, everyone's been in our shoes. They've been students, they've, struggled finding opportunities, and they've had people who've helped them. And so that's kind of what I go into any networking opportunity. You know, I'm a student, and I feel like professionals who are working, they understand what it's like to be a student, and they want to help us out genuinely. So I think networking, people get into their heads a lot, and I think, just see it as a learning opportunity, not really a transaction. So when you go and have a conversation with someone, say at an event, like a career fair or a networking event, don't go into the conversation thinking I want an internship out of this or I want a job out of this. you know, talk to the person, talk about your interests, pay attention to what they're saying, ask them questions. People love talking about themselves. They really love insightful questions that aren't boring. So, you know, if you make a good impression and really show that you're interested in learning about maybe their career, their company, whatever it is that piques your interest. There are a few resources I use when it comes to finding networking events. So the first one is through the school. Depending on your major, depending on your college, there are career fairs that are either specialized, like a STEM career fair, engineering career fair, or more general. So whatever like fits or applies to you best. And then we have the internship and career center. They are always putting out events with different companies, or they're hosting workshops on resumes. They have different panels, and then I'm also part of a few student organizations that put on events. I also use Aggie Life and Handshake. There's just so many resources that you can use to find opportunities near you. Also a really big fan of Eventbrite and Facebook to find local events or public events that are hosted by different clubs, organizations on campus. So many resources out there, and with networking, you just have to work on calming the nerves, focusing on having a great conversation, and that's kind of how I approach networking, is more relationship building than transactions, and I think that takes you really far. I hope I answered your question. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to have an in-depth conversation, or if you have any specific questions. I would love to chat. And another question is kind of similar. So this one is how to balance school and internship hunting / networking, feeling the burnout a lot. That's really tough. And I know with Davis being on the quarter system, things just move really fast, and having to worry about applying and interviews on top of just, you know, trying to manage this quarter system is really, really hard. And a great lesson that I've learned during the last few years in college is, while I have the ability to multitask, that doesn't necessarily mean I should do it. And what I've been kind of doing recently is setting aside blocks of times where I focus my energy on a certain task, on a certain commitment of mine. So, you know, I'm president of a business club on campus, and that of course takes a lot of time. So when I'm in lectures, I try not to check any of my messages or emails or do any work for Davis Women in Business, because then I have to rewatch the lecture, and that's a waste of time. So when I'm in lecture, I try to give my full attention, and then in the mornings or at night, I'll set aside a couple hours and only focus on DWIP stuff. And then, you know, I also have a few part-time jobs, and I try to section out time so I'm only focusing on that one thing. I think when you focus on one thing at a time instead of trying to multitask and get a bunch of different things done at once, and your mind is thinking about class and thinking about internships and thinking about club stuff, it just gets to be too much. So make sure you're doing one thing at a time. Take breaks. Also, I know right now with COVID, a lot of companies just aren't hiring for full-time workers, or they're cutting their workforce, or they're slashing their intern program. So that's very discouraging to hear about. But I promise there's an opportunity out there for you. You just have to stay positive and keep applying, keep networking. I know it's tough, but I'm confident that there is something out there for you. A door will open. You just have to keep on trying. Okay, so next question is, people usually have trouble with how and where to make friends, especially with Zoom. I couldn't agree more. So this quarter especially, I've had a lot of different group projects that I've worked on, and I've met some freshmen and transfer students who've, you know, told me like it's really tough not being able to be in person on campus and make friends, and they feel like they're missing out. And that's really sad for me to hear, because, you know, at least the 2.5 years I got to experience in person in college has been really fun, and I wish, you know, obviously that COVID wasn't a thing and people could experience making connections in college, because that's honestly the best part, is meeting people, meeting lifelong friends. But still, even though things are virtual, joining a club, joining a sorority, you know, before COVID, a sports team or something, I think is a great way to start because you're joining something where you're interested in whatever the focus is, and if you have a common interest with someone, chances are you're more likely to connect with them. So my freshman year of college, I joined Davis Women in Business and Consult Your Community. I took leadership positions right away, and I got close with a lot of people in both of those organizations. You know, meeting like-minded people, really interested in consulting, serving the local community, and then DWIB, you know, other college students who are passionate about women empowerment. It was awesome and super easy to make friends, and the friends that I've made through these two clubs, they've turned out to be my best friends, my housemates, and it's just been a really great experience. So again, I would recommend trying to join a club. If you don't know where to look, I would suggest Aggie Life. We have like so many different clubs. I think like almost 1,000 different clubs on campus that are all student run and led. So I'll have a link down below my description for you guys for Aggie Life. Definitely check it out if you are looking to join a community. And then I got a question that was best boba in Davis. Literally, Davis has so many boba spots. I feel like there's one that opens up like once a month. It's insane. So I haven't been to all of the boba places, but I like to go to different spots for different types of drinks. So I actually live across the street from Tebow. I love Tebow for either their Thai tea with boba. I also love their peach yogurt slushy with lychee jelly. So delicious. Another favorite of mine is Mandro. I like going there for milk tea. Also, their boba balls are smaller than other places, which I like. And then IT, they have really great mango frosties. Also get lychee jelly with that order. But yeah, a lot of great boba places in Davis. But those three would probably be my favorite: Tebow, Mandro, and IT. Last question I'm going to answer is favorite thing to do on a Friday night in Davis pre-COVID. So I know I talked about this a little bit earlier when I had the burnout question. I think it's definitely important to take breaks, and with the quarter system, it feels like sometimes you don't have space to take a break, but Friday nights, I would always dedicate Friday nights to just chill, do whatever I want. So I love going out with my friends or just having a chill night in, you know, watching a movie, ordering takeout, just hanging out with my friends, people that I love, and not stressing out about work or school or anything else. I love Friday nights. I think, you know, you can do work over the weekend, but at least having one day where you can just take your mind off everything and just enjoy life. I think that's super important. Those are all the questions I'm going to be answering in this video. I hope that I was at least a little bit helpful. If you think of any more questions to ask me, feel free to leave them down below in the comments or DM me on Instagram, whatever works. If you're not following me on Instagram already, make sure you do that at emita.maya and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the new videos that I'm going to be putting out. Thank you so much for all of the love and support, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!